Hi, this is your teacher, Paul. It's December 7th, 2020. And once again, I'm using YouTube Live. This is live streaming. And I sent out a couple of emails this morning telling people that I'd be doing this. And if it's successful, then I'll do it more often. So check your email regularly. If you want to sign up for emailed lessons with me, then go to englishfortheplanet.com, and down at the bottom of that screen, you'll see a sign up for lessons. My email address is paul@englishfortheplanet.com. Sorry. And it looks like people are coming in. So when I do this, I think there has to be some sort of reason, some purpose, some type of topic. And the one that I think I'll use today is competition. Perhaps you saw a recent video that I made for the verbs win and lose. And those are good verbs to know how to use when talking about a competition. When there's a competition, there's usually a winner and a loser. So that video focuses on the verbs win and lose, but then you can change those words to nouns. Win stays win when it's a noun. A person who wins is a winner. The verb lose, when it changes to a noun, is loss, L-O-S-S. And a person who loses is a loser. So I cover that in the video if that's a topic that's of interest to you. The last time I came here, I started off by talking about breakfast, I think, or food. And that was an interesting conversation. So this one will be about competition, I think. And I'll just do this for maybe 20 minutes or so. And I have a regular teaching job, and my first class doesn't begin for another hour. So I've got some time here to spend with you. It's been more difficult to get time to make videos because I have been so busy. I'm learning how to use Google Meet. It's not that hard to use, really, but I have to figure out how to use it with all of my students, and not everyone's good at it. And then students are submitting their work through Google Classroom, which is new. It's a new approach to doing schoolwork. You know, everything's virtual now. Yes, this is still live. Just to give you an indication, I know people ask questions just to make sure that the stream is live, and it is. So I'm doing this right now. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:11 in the morning here in Minnesota. So yeah, 11:11 in whichever country. 11 p.m. Wow. So you're up late. So competition would be the topic. And what do you want to know about competition or winning, losing? If you have any questions, I can respond to the questions that you pose in the chat. Someone's asking where I live. I live in Minnesota, so that's north of Chicago. It's near Canada. So there are some other words that you can use for competition. Verbs like beat. You can use defeat. If you defeat somebody, a person is a winner if he or she defeats someone in competition. When there's a competition, you oppose someone. There's an opposing team, and you have an opponent. You need that article an in front of opponent because of the o in opponent. An opponent. Yeah, a person who competes is a competitor. That's a good word. Not easy to pronounce for everybody. Competitor. It's one of those words you can't say too slowly. If you do, it sounds weird. If you say competitor, no one pronounces it that way. It's competitor. Anybody in a competition wants to achieve success or be successful or be a winner. Yeah, you can use these words when there's a battle. So you beat your opponent. One military defeats the other military. There are a lot of different ways of talking about that, but usually it's you talk about a military defeat. That's the noun, military defeat, and then one military defeats another military or opponent. The opponent might not be an organized military. It could be some sort of loosely created insurrection where there's not a lot of leadership, but a group of people who are opposed to whatever dominant power is in competition with them. Conquer is a good word. That's a pretty strong word. And conquer is often used when talking about a large group of people. When one group conquers another, they take total control. So when thinking about ancient times, Greece and Rome is a good example. Rome conquered a lot of areas, many parts of Europe, Greece. And when they conquered their opponents, they often made them into slaves, drove them into slavery. I think that was the main motivation for people to fight in military battles that time. Because if you were a loser, then your whole country, everybody went into slavery. So that was a very strong source of motivation to win. Yeah, win, when used as a noun, win and victory are the same. You can say it's a win, it's a victory. When a team throws in the towel, it admits defeat. I think that comes from boxing. So I believe the manager of the person boxing is fighting. And when it looked like a person was going to get pummeled to death, then I think the manager would throw the towel into the ring to call off the fight, to stop the fight from happening. Otherwise, the person fighting would perhaps be killed. So yeah, throwing the towel is a good one. Do you think Trump is going to throw in the towel? Do you think he'll ever admit defeat? Pretty embarrassing what's going on right now. There was an election, you probably heard about it, and it was held over a month ago. And with the latest election results, it looks like Joe Biden has about 80, I think it might be 81 million, close to 81 million votes. That's nationwide. and Trump has maybe 73 million. So the difference is 7 to 8 million votes. Of course, the way votes are counted here is a little unusual because votes are counted according to state. And so you have to win a state in order to win these other votes, these electoral votes. But anyway, however votes are counted, it's very clear that Trump is the loser. When you talk about one person losing, you say the. Trump is the loser. If you use the article that changes the meaning a little bit. If you say Trump is a loser, that gets to his character. That is a statement about the person. If you say a person is a loser, then you're making a negative statement. Sounds bad. Nobody wants to be a loser. In that case, you're getting into the person's personality and other personal characteristics. It sounds, if you say a person is a loser, that person always loses, is always losing, doesn't know how to be successful. So a person who loser is never successful. So a lot of people are commenting about the election. I don't want to get too much into politics, although I am concerned about what's happening right now. As a teacher, I'm concerned because I'm afraid that the American education system is perhaps failing in some ways to educate people about civics and how American democracy works. It's a very strong form of government, and right now it's being undermined by the person who leads it. Oh, it's depressing. He'll be out January 20th, 2021. So I think you have to just admit when you lose, you have to admit that you lost. That's part of a competition. You shake the other person's hand and you say, "Good game. It was fun playing against you. I enjoyed the competition. Good game." Everybody says good game. And then move on. And it's another day. And you move on and you do something else. So hopefully things will get back to normal in January. And then we'll have somebody who can really focus on the coronavirus because that is ravaging the country right now. We're pretty close to 3,000 people a day dying, and no one that I know has died from it. So that's good. And I'm not too concerned about getting it, but I do have a cough, and I don't know what that's from. I last time I talked to my doctor about it, she didn't seem too concerned. I used to smoke. That was a long time ago, but it was a long time ago, but I smoked for many years, and there might be some other medical conditions underlying the cough. So I'm not too concerned. And I never get sick, really. I rarely get the cold. A cold. And I always get a flu shot, so I feel like I'm protected against the flu. But if I do get the virus, I hope to defeat it. That's not another way you can use the word defeat. You defeat a virus. You overcome an illness. That's another word you can use for competition. So if it's you against an illness, then you overcome the illness. Overcome is one word. The past tense is overcame. So you can say he overcame his sickness. And then the past participle is overcome. Overcome, overcame, overcome. I would like to be able to write on the screen somehow. I can do that when I'm in Google Meet, but I can't seem to do that here. I don't think there are any sort of things I can use to work on the screen. I don't know what this does. This doesn't do anything. I'm going to click on Manage and see what happens with this. If that does any changes anything. And it doesn't. It doesn't have any effect. Okay, so I'll look at some of the comments here. Someone wants me to make a video about the strongest words in English. Strongest. So it depends on the area, I suppose. You know, what area. If you talk about odor, then you have words that you can use when something smells bad. If something smells bad, it stinks. Or you could say it's foul. Oh, that's a foul odor. So those are a couple examples. Use reeks. That reeks, R-E-E-K-S. His clothes reek. Or a person, and that's pretty strong. That's a strong smell. His clothes reek of tobacco. So after a person smokes, you can smell it on that person. So that would be an example. That's a good idea. The strongest words used for talking about different topics. That's a good idea. Do need new ideas. If you've looked at the videos, you know, focus on grammar. That's what most people want. But I've done so many, and a lot of them are really old, so they have to be redone. But some of them, you know, they might not have enough examples, or the lighting is bad, or it's hard to see what I've written. You notice that on the bottom of the videos, there's always at the bottom of the screen, there's the typed word. So in addition to what you see on the whiteboard, you can see the word typed at the bottom. So I show you both. And of course, writing is different from typing. That's another reason for using the board. The way that I form the letters for some of you might be a challenge. That depends on what your first language is. If your first language is Arabic or Szechuan or Khmer, or, you know, a number of different languages that don't use the Roman alphabet, or whatever that alphabet's called. Is that what it is? Roman? Then, you know, that's more difficult, and you have to practice writing. I think that's really important. If you're using the website, learnamericanenglishonline.com, I strongly recommend that you print out those exercises and then you write. You know, get a pen, put a pen in your hand, you know, use a pen and a notebook and write, because that will help you remember. If you don't write, if you don't really do anything when you're learning, you're not likely to retain the information. So that's the main reason for writing, so that you can remember. Keep a notebook. I keep several different notebooks for my various interests. Over here behind me, this notebook. This is for practice, my practice regimen for playing music. And this one is for my job. Everything that's in here is related to my job. And then I have another notebook that I use just for keeping ideas for my my website. How does this come off? Is it reversed? Oh God, it is. It's reversed. I couldn't use the whiteboard. I have a whiteboard right there. I could not use the whiteboard unless I could figure out a way to reverse this. Because the letters would be opposite what you would expect. And so that would not be of any use. And so in that case, I might have to use something like Google Meet. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Okay, just looking at some of the comments. Shut up, yeah, is imperative. You don't need a subject there. You don't have to say you shut up, just shut up. And that's a sentence, followed by an exclamation point, usually. Shut up. I'm glad people make notes when they're studying the website. That's good. Again, keep a notebook by the computer. And if you write down everything, I mean, if you write down the question and the answer, that's going to help. I'm not sure how much it helps when it comes to learning how to converse. It can be of help, but you have to regularly practice talking to somebody to get your conversation skills up to speed. Listening helps, but again, this can't just be like watching television. So whatever you're doing right now, if you're just watching it, that would be of limited help. It's much better if you could get your notebook out and write. And also, if there's another person with you when you're watching this, you can practice saying something to each other based on what you hear me say. And this recording would be available later if you want to stop the recording and practice repeating something I said. That's another thing I could try to do, where perhaps I say something and then you would respond. Like if I ask you a question, if I say, tell me about a time when you were successful, or tell me about a time when you were victorious in competition, or when did you win a race, or what kind of team did you play on when you were a child, if you played sports, or if you're a child now. I don't know if I have any children watching this. I'll always keep this clean, but I am aware that sometimes there are kids who are here on the website. So I am very careful about use of language, and I hope you are too. Okay, it's 10:30. I got a class starting in about half an hour. So I unfortunately will have to bring this to a close because I've got to get ready. So, have a good day, everybody. And this will be made available, and I'll continue to do this. I'm a little concerned about the quality of the content. Just don't want to waste anybody's time. It's important that you use your time wisely, and you get the maximum benefit from anything that you do online. So I want to make sure that the quality is good. And I don't speak French. Sorry. My kids are fluent in French. I can speak a little German. That's the only language that I know, and a little bit of Spanish, but my Spanish is terrible. So I've got lots of time left in my life to learn all these different languages, right? French is hard, though. As much as I like to hear it, it's hard. But my kids speak it. They went to a French immersion school. So starting from an early age, when they were 5, they only heard French. And, they had 10 years, 10, 11, 12 years of it. So, okay. So I'll do this again. I don't know if it would be on Tuesday, tomorrow. Wednesday is usually better because I have a later class. I teach starting at 11 o'clock, and then I go up until the evening, so I'm busy. My last class of the day is at 6 o'clock at night, and that goes until 9 o'clock. So it's a long day. Have a good day, everybody, and I will come back, and I'll try to let you know when I'll be back on again. Bye-bye.